going on, YouTube? What's going on, gang? Welcome back to the video. We got the most wanted drivers in New York, Tommy G. Let's check it out, y'all.
Okay, easy, Tiger. Easy. Come on. Hey. How many police chases do you think you've been in?
30, I think.
30,
sheesh. 1 to
sheesh.
10. How wanted would you say you are?
Probably a 10. Nobody's more wanted than me.
I wasn't lying when I said these guys are wanted.
Hey, these dudes are bold, bro.
You're the most wanted drivers in New York.
I'm street bud. Swim scene, you already.
Nope. Already taking an L. As a grown man, I'm not about to sit around a bunch of other grown dudes talking about swimmers. No, hang that shit up, bro.
What's going on? I love him on
Y'all could have found a different name.
The dream team.
So buckle up, folks.
The
This is gonna be a
swim
wild
team.
ride. One day in the safety of my home in Milwaukee, I started to get bombarded by DMs imploring me to explore these two drivers named Squeeze Benz and Where's 981. When I looked at their pages, their driving shocked me. I would describe their videos as daring, dangerous, and reckless. I'm fascinated by the human desire to push limits and go against the grain. I'm fascinated by the daredevils and outlaws of the world. Young men in particular love to do this in a variety of ways. Evel Knievel shot himself out of a cannon, Philip Petit tightrope walked across the Twin Towers, Alex Honnold climbed up cliffs without a rope, and fighter
That's
Darren
dangerous
Till
as
cut weight
hell.
until he went blind. The question that comes to mind:
Rock climbing with no ropes, bro. Like, you gotta completely trust what you do to be climbing rocks with no ropes. For
when
real.
you look at this behavior is what compels someone to push themselves to such lengths and risk injury or death. In today's video, we investigate this daredevil behavior in the form of reckless drivers who are causing outrage and fascination across New York.
Police tried to pull over a car on West 38th Street and 7th Avenue. The driver sped off, slamming into cars, driving on
Oh, that's
the sidewalk,
crazy.
and even
And then the thing is, but there's cameras everywhere nowadays, bro. Like, you can't get away with shit. So you gotta be real bold to be still out here stealing cars and shit. You know what I mean?
But there's a twist in the story, because these guys don't just risk their own necks in the stunts, they also risk the lives of innocent pedestrians and the law enforcement that chases them. These guys regularly go on police chases and evade police helicopters. Today, we interview them face to face and talk morality, ethics, danger, and their motivation for their behavior. Let's dive in and go boots on the ground. This documentary is purely for educational purposes. We want to stress that the behavior depicted in this video is dangerous, illegal, and should never be imitated. And remember, it only takes one bad crash to ruin your life or someone else's. Please drive responsibly. Thank you.
Alright, we touched down in New York City.
We wanted to know how everyday people felt about this kind of driving. We had some extra time to kill at the New York airport, so I went around showing people videos of Squeeze Benz and Where's 981 driving. Here's what they had to say about it. What do you think of that?
It's just dangerous. I think if the police go after them, it's a bit dangerous. Was everyone else at risk?
He's probably going 120, 130 right now. See how there's some close calls?
I feel like he thinks he's in a video game. That stuff pisses me off. So I got kids that are on those roads too. When that guy hits one of my kids, he'll say,
Hey, that's a typical thing a parent would say. I feel it.
Hey, you're gonna kill somebody on the road. He's gonna do it anyways. What do you think about that?
It makes me mad. I get it. All kids, they're bred to do that, right? But it's irresponsible.
If I told you that this guy
It is irresponsible, but you gotta think about it as a young person, bro. They ain't trying to hear none of that shit, bro.
gotten away from
Not trying to hear none of that.
Police, but also
They just want to have fun.
What's your reaction on that?
I believe it. I just feel like it's really selfish. I feel like he should get his license taken away for some period of time and probably have to go through safe driving classes, maybe talk to people who are victims of people that drive like him.
I think it should be commensurate with like attempted manslaughter or something like. I mean,
yeah.
That's
what? Attempted manslaughter. What the fuck?
in effect,
Yeah.
you're putting people at risk intentionally when you go a certain speed over the speed limit.
If you were his mother or father, what would you tell him?
That he's a selfish idiot. One of these days, somebody is gonna get in his way and that person's gonna end up dead, or many people are gonna end up dead. And if he ends up dead, that's his consequence for what he does, but nobody else deserves to have that kind of risk. It's no different than someone who's really drunk getting behind the wheel of a car and driving when they have no control. I mean, the car is
she got some good
a weapon
points.
of mass destruction. It has to be handled with care.
The manslaughter
Instead of
thing,
being
though, I don't
drunk
know
and
about
getting
that.
behind the wheel because you're actively making the choice to put other people's lives at risk.
The steepest price that gets paid is not the person driving the car. I mean, someone's going to end up dying, and that'll be that.
That can ruin hundreds of people's lives. Like if a kid in a school were to die, everybody in the school
It's a
would be
ripple
mourning
effect.
for that one person.
Oh yeah, he's tripping. Not safe at all.
If he hits somebody, do you think it should be manslaughter or first degree?
I say manslaughter because you know what you're doing. Like you're just driving crazy. Like
What would you tell him if you could say something to him?
I'd be like, slow down.
What do you think about driving like this?
Oh, it's terrible. I don't like it.
Like, you better stay away from him.
Yeah.
What should be the penalty if he's caught? Manslaughter or first degree? That's another debate.
If he hits somebody, you mean if he kills somebody? It's vehicular manslaughter.
This guy has an.
Okay, I didn't hear the question the first time when they said that. I thought he was just saying he should just get manslaughter off the rip.
Multiple police vehicles and including helicopters.
Right.
So he hasn't been caught. Yesterday, he got away from a helicopter.
Where? In New York or California?
New York.
Wow. What kind of car is he renting?
Lamborghini.
I could see I was out running the comps. I guess we could hope for him hitting a telephone pole.
Give him
Turn
a-
yourself in, brother. You're a reckless driver and you're going to hurt innocent people.
I got folks taking pics, something like paparazzi. I'ma go and get the test, I don't really like the mods. Really getting to the check, but I ain't rocking no horizon.
We're on our way to meet Squeeze Benz. Recently, he's been making the news for his high-speed stunts. While some people see his driving as exhilarating or exciting, there's a rising sentiment that this sort of behavior unnecessarily endangers innocent drivers and pedestrians. He sent us the address of a random parking garage and told us to pull up. This is what we encountered. Folks, we're on the way to talk to one of the most wanted drivers in New York, Squeeze Benz. This kid does stuff that makes my butthole pucker up. Pause. This guy is
What?
reckless. This guy is extreme. This guy drives at a very high speed. I do not drive like this. You shouldn't drive like this, and there's a reason why I'm not getting into their cars while they're driving this fast. It's dangerous, it's reckless, it's scary. Disclaimer, don't do this at home. He's kind of like a high-speed fugitive. I'm always interested in the outlaws of the world, people that live on the edge. Humans, especially men, are always pushing the limits of danger. But one distinction I want to make is Evel Knievel only harms himself if he fails. The UFC fighters are both signing up, they're in mutual combat. But these guys, if something goes wrong, they harm innocent civilians. So I want to ask him about that, but then ask him about the outlaw, the testing danger, peace that lives strongly within them, because I think that's interesting. This is not a product placement. I do not want a partnership with Celsius. I do not drink your drinks every single trip multiple times a day. I don't absolutely love your drink. Guys, if you want to hit me up, please do. I would love to talk to you. Otherwise, I'll probably hit up Prime, and you know how that goes. So we're pulling up to meet Squeeze Benz. I'm excited. I hope you are too. You know, high speed must be an issue around here if they have a
Bro, that's a
Mustang.
cop car? Get the fuck out of here. I didn't know they had Mustang cop cars.
I'm excited. I hope you are too. You know, high speed must
Look at that, bro. That's a Stang right there, bro. Who are you running from in this? Pull over.
be an issue around here if they have a Mustang NYPD car that's got some zip to it. RIP mainstream media. It's been a great run. Kudos to you for lasting as long as you have. But that's it. I mean, you're finished. Sorry. In honor of that, RIP mainstream media. Sweatshirts available. TommyGMcGee.com. Oh my god, dude. What the f is this, Batman, dude?
Oh, this shit's sketchy as hell, too.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how wanted would you say you are?
Probably a 10. Nobody's more wanted than me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It started like about a year ago. I got my first Benz, and I always did like little driving videos, and I never really took it to nothing. And then my boy started saying like, you know, mad people are blowing up off this, and I was just like, you know, that's just how it started.
I'm curious, like you have a Lamborghini, at one point a Mercedes-Benz. I'm sure you go through a lot of different cars. Are you going on tour and just driving people's cars all crazy? You guys getting your own cars? Like, tell me about that.
I had my own car for a bit, but then I changed it up because I did get chased a lot. So I just realized, like, you know, doing long-term rentals is just a way better route. And then obviously I don't tell these guys on the street.
And what's crazy is, bro, y'all, it's not even your car that you're doing all this high speed chasing in, bro. It's a rental. I'd be so pissed to hear that my car got fucked up because somebody wanted a high speed chase around the fucking city.
By the tour people asking what the hell happened?
They do ask, and then like I kind of just like, you know, just driving the car, you know what I mean?
You mix danger, but there's also other people at risk when you do that. Innocent civilians. So what do you think about the element of danger for that?
I've been doing this since like real shit since I was 9. I used to take my dad's car out, and I used to just bug out. I've been doing this for so long.
9 years old. You need your ass whooped. 9 years old. Okay.
Now that I feel like I did have some professional at it, like, you know, niggas know, like, that's how I drive. There's been incidents where I've gone out with people and they try keeping up with me and they've crashed.
How fast do you go?
I mean, there's been a video on live where I've gone one-handed 210 miles an hour.
Filming with one hand,
210?
driving with the other, 210 miles.
210? Why would you even want to go that fast, bro? You're not racing or nothing. You just driving fast for no fucking reason. You fucking idiot.
No, that's insane. Did that scare you?
Not really, just to build up a tolerance of just speed.
Do you feel like the police watch your Instagram?
100%, they do.
Let's pop in the car and keep the conversation going.
I thought my man said he didn't want to get in the car while they was driving.
Okay. How many people normally you out compared to, like, am I in the high end of
Not even the high end, but
That's okay.
Does your mom worry about you?
I call her, she don't even want to hear the things that I'm doing. She be getting scared because she know I be doing shit, like, you know what I mean?
Do you know any friends that have gotten really hurt or died doing this?
My boy, he was racing and he macked up and he hit his head and his head, like, split open with
Damn.
stitches, but, like, other than that, nothing's ever happened.
Tell me about the camera system in New York. How hard is it to evade capture or awareness of the police?
Super easy. A lot of people, like, they be doing crimes with their plates on. Like, I mean, if I go and run from the cops, I'm gonna make sure I either have altered plates or no plates at all.
New York City is home to one of the
I
most
feel
advanced
that.
camera surveillance networks on the planet. An Amnesty International project identified that there are more than 25,000 public and private
Sheesh.
cameras at traffic intersections across.
You're
the
not
city.
getting away
This
with
camera
shit.
technology can capture faces and other details from up to 400 feet away. This infrastructure isn't cheap either. This camera technology, combined with cell phone tracking tools, spyware, and facial recognition, racked up nearly $3 billion in expenditures from the NYPD from
3 bill, bro, on camera systems.
2007
Boy,
to
they ain't
2018.
playing.
With street racers running rampant in the city, it's easy for governments to make the argument to increase the surveillance in order to shut down this reckless endeavor.
On every corner,
However,
too.
this same technology can also be used to capture the profiles of millions of civilians on a daily basis, something that is currently happening in China and that many Americans are afraid of. As technology such as AI facial recognition and high-def cameras increase in quality, this is a challenge we are going to have to wrestle with to ensure the very tech that can help keep us safe also doesn't...
You're not safe out here, bro. I'm telling you, it's like as soon as you step outside, the system will already know who you are. That don't seem creepy to y'all, for real. Like, a camera already recognizes who you are, your information, how old you are, color your eyes. That is some AI type weird shit, man.
Doesn't grow too powerful.
And there's nothing you can do about it either. You better walk around with a mask.
What are the different penalties for if you got caught doing what we were doing?
Jail time. I'm running red lights. I'm doing more than triple the speed limit, double the speed limit. This is a lot of tickets to it.
You did a video in Times Square recently, right?
Yeah.
I gotta send it back for all my insecurities. Maybe like some work will probably clean it back. Maybe Mickey Thompson's line locked when he's slide.
Hey, he be whipping that motherfucker though.
One mistake to permanently change or destroy somebody's life.
I do understand that. It's just like, we were also like, it was a lot of people. 12 o'clock in the morning, you seen in the video, like I stopped, looked around, made sure there was nobody, and started doing donuts. And then when I was running the red lights, I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key bugging. I low-key know how to run red lights. I've been chased by Mac cops to the point where I could blow the red lights doing 60, 70. No, I'm not gonna get my part.
What is your
Yeah, that's
strategy in getting
that's
away?
crazy because what if you go on 60 or 70 running a red light and another car trying to come through? How you explain that one? It don't matter how fast you're going. What if there's a fucking cars coming through? You're gonna hit it.
On the highway, these cops, like, they're not really built for that. It's a lot of real rookie cops now. A bunch of rookie cops. Like, these guys do not know how to drive on the highway.
Let's talk about how drivers like Ben's can evade detection for so long. They do so by altering or covering up their license plates so the car cannot be tracked by police or the traffic cameras. Cars with this modification have been nicknamed ghost cars. Last month, a joint task force was launched between New York Governors Kathy Hochul, New York Mayor Eric Adams, the NYPD, and the MTA to crack down on the issue of ghost cars. In their first day alone, they impounded 73 cars, issued 282 court summons, and made 7 arrests. And I noticed the same thing back home in Milwaukee.
Hey, they ain't
The guys
playing.
running through the red lights, driving the stolen cars, and driving aggressively. Most of them do not have license plates. What's the longest police chase you've been in?
30 minutes, 20 minutes.
That's a pretty long chase. How many guys do you think were chasing you at one time?
That is, bro. Could you imagine being chased for 30 to 40 minutes, bro? Like, damn, the whole time my nuts are on the damn ground.
What they do with the helicopter. Those are really hard to get away from. How could you get away? Luckily, it was late night. I was in the Porsche, and that shit does 210 miles an hour. So I just hopped on the highway. You know what I mean? The helicopter can only go so fast.
You go faster than the helicopter?
Yeah, they only like jump out like 150, 140.
You crash into somebody, they get paralyzed, they die. Do you think you deserve to go to prison?
Yes. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be put into prison for life. If I kill somebody, that's somebody's life. Like, that's somebody's mother, brother, cousin, whatever the case is. If somebody crashed into my mom in her car and they killed her, I'd want them to go to jail. You know what I mean? Maybe not for life, but just enough to get it in their head, like, you know?
What makes taking these risks worth it for you?
They're not really risks to me, that's the thing. I don't really see them as risks. I see them as, like, you know, me just everyday driving.
You said you've been driving since you were 9 years old?
You see it as everyday driving by doing illegal shit, bro. Like, you not just regularly driving going 30, 45, you know what I mean? Regular speed. You high speed chasing, running red lights and shit. That is not everyday driving.
He used to give me his car. You know, I used to sit on his lap when I was like 7. He used to give me the steering wheel, that, and then, you know, I hit 9. He used to send me, yo, go to AutoZone real quick. I used to go to AutoZone, Home Depot, whatever the case is. Go 13, I used to start picking up my boys, and that's when I started really, like, you know, cutting up.
Oh my motherfucker. Okay, easy, Tiger. Easy, 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 easy. Come on. Hey.
Nah, he doing all that crying now. You decided to get in that car after you said you wasn't getting in the car. Now you gotta deal with it, bro.
Ooh, that motherfucking made me.
Imagine me doing that.
At 100?
Yeah, that's really nothing.
How many police chases do you think you've been in?
More in my hand. There's been so many times where like the boys just get behind us and they start chasing. Or like it's not really chases to us. You know, they back off.
Do you think you're the most wanted driver in New York?
Between me and Where's 981, like Where's 981 low-key died down, I feel like I've taken over that spot, so yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of young men that watch your content. What do you think about kids that want to go try and replicate this, copy this?
From Squeeze Benz himself, do not come try this.
This is something that you can get paralyzed, you could die. I don't drive like this, you shouldn't. Some people in this game take lots of risks, and Squeeze is one of those guys, but highly advise never to do this. How sophisticated is the camera system in New York?
It's getting more sophisticated now to where, like, you know, it take them probably 2-3 days to really find where you was at, you know what I mean?
How do you
2 or 3 days? That's not even long.
I pay for a garage, I have other parking garages where I park my car.
So just like a drug dealer has trap houses, you have different...
I have trap houses, yeah.
Miguel, are you nervous at all?
I'm fucking nervous.
The boys are right here. Like...
No way he just did that.
But how do you know he was about to get out of his vehicle and you weren't just about to smash him as he opened up his door?
I would have fucking not chill.
Why do you think this is something that young men gravitate towards?
Adrenaline.
Let's talk about brain development in young men. The male brain does not fully mature until about 25, so their prefrontal cortex that assesses risk is not fully developed yet, which helps to explain the risky behavior we see in this segment of the population. There's a name for this: young male syndrome. This sometimes short-sighted behavior is hypothesized to have provided an evolutionary
I'm telling you, bro, like, as a male, we just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like past 25, I'm 30 and I'm still like doing crazy ass shit. You know what I mean?
A 2001 University of Liverpool study found that females prefer brave males who take risks to the ones that do not. And if we go back thousands of years to being hunter-gatherers on the savannah, this preference makes sense, as a female would want the male that fends off the lion or stands to fight when another rival tribe approaches. Biologically, not much has changed in our brains then, but our technology has progressed much further, and it helps to explain why you see young men doing high-speed chases and drifting through Times Square. What's the craziest getaway story you have?
I'll be the one with the helicopter. I pulled up on the highway showing the charge. He was about to pull someone over. So I got behind him. I started playing with him. And I was recording. I got away, obviously. A week later, I started getting chased by 2-3 black Chargers. I'm looking up and I see the helicopter above me. And I'm like, oh nah. It was only like my second ever helicopter chase, so my heart was bumping. I'm not knowing how hard these guys are gonna go for me right now. They're gonna set a roadblock up, something, you know what I mean? But thank God that wasn't the case.
Like a spike strip.
That's never happened to me. I don't need to give these niggas advice, but like, I don't know why don't use spike strips.
Is it hard for you not to be going fast right now?
Honestly, yeah. If New York really wanted to step their game up, they should put a place where...
Bro fucking breaks the speed limit for a living.
How long do you see yourself doing this for?
This is not gonna be a forever thing. Eventually it's gonna turn into a brand.
How often do you drive reckless?
It's every day, but to a limit.
Let's talk about reckless driving in the United States. In 2021, there were 6 million car crashes and 39,500 of them were fatal. A survey by the insurance company Nationwide found that 47% of Gen Z reported driving faster than the speed limit, and 34% of them reported video chatting while driving. Actions like this help contribute to car crashes being the leading cause of death for American teenagers. Another concern.
I know texting and driving was a big thing for millennials. Like being on, as millennials, we like being on our phones a lot and, you know what I mean, texting and driving. That's the type of thing that we like to do. So yeah, I understand that.
The
34%,
amount
that's a
of
lot.
pedestrians killed
Righteously.
by reckless driving. In 2022, there were 7,500 deaths in this manner. In New York, vehicular manslaughter is a felony that carries a steep sentence of up to 15 years. We took 2 Polaroids. They're fresh off the press, still developing. We're gonna put them in 2 random people that buy merch in the next 48 hours. 2 people will get Squeeze Benz, Tommy G, Polaroid photos, RIP Mainstream Media.
Hey,
Big
make
Dog
that
Daddy
money,
D.
man.
Hope to send this to you. Available on Patreon only are the wild and extended cut versions of the interviews with Squeeze Benz, including one right after he got finished with a helicopter chase, extended cut interview with Swim Team, and more. This is some good shit. Patreon.
Bro spent the whole week with him, didn't he?
We find ourselves in another
We on
parking
day
drive
2.
meeting with New York driver Where's 981 and his crew, the Swim Team. Swimming refers to the driving technique where they cut up, weaving in and out of traffic to get where they want to go. They've gained a lot of notoriety online, and I wanted to talk to them to learn more about them.
The faster you go and the more dangerous you drive, the more views you get.
All right, guys, we're pulling up to meet the Swim Team. They're one of the groups of the
Swimmers.
drivers. Swim Team.
They call me Float. Used to be called Float Apostle. So like, I guess it's like a teacher. I would teach you how to.
They should have kept that name though. Float Apostle. Float Apostles. That sounds better than swimmers, bro. I swear to
And then it
God.
just turned into like, when we started cutting up and stuff, it was almost like we were swimming through traffic, and they'll call me like Michael Phelps, so we're swimming.
How fast do you go sometimes?
I'm hitting 150 every day. It's easy to hit 150, bro. Like, it's triple digits no matter what. Your 50, 60 miles an hour is my 100.
Have you had any near misses?
Yeah, of course. People come to me like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? I'm not going to try and teach you how to do it because of the simple fact that someone can get hurt. Thank you that I have not hurt anybody. It's like shooting a gun in an open field. Like, anybody can get hit with a straight bullet.
If you hit somebody and they get really injured or die, what should be the punishment you think?
I'm going to jail 1,000%.
Yeah, it's worth it. Why?
It's not worth it. That's the thing. I can't justify it, you know?
What's it like being in a high-speed chase?
Your first time, it feels crazy, bro. Like, you're like you're scared to go home some way, somehow. You make it home. You have a little bit of a tough night of sleep that first night. And then you make it to the second night, you make it to the next night, they never come. After that, you get numb to it, you know?
What are the laws in New York for chasing people? Because I know in Milwaukee, oftentimes they don't chase you at a certain speed because they know it results in civilian death.
Facts,
a lot
bro.
of times when the chase
I just learned that.
It depends on
I just learned that they stop after a certain while, bro. Like, they won't chase you forever. They soon draw back and be like, no, I ain't doing that because it might hurt other people.
Honestly, I've seen cops where one of my boys, this dude going off-road in New York, and the cops following him off the road. It just takes that one, you know, that one cop that's just ready to be like, all right, I'm coming for you, and it's over.
What does your mom think about this?
I bring my mom to work, and going 150. She didn't get scared. In her eyes,
Mama hip to the shit.
Like, she got mother's prayers, of course. She's gonna always pray for me, make sure everything works out every single time, but she's not too stressed.
You created Swim, right?
I wouldn't say I created Swim, so it started off as a joke between me and Tom, right? Floating, swimming, and then we're like, why does that sound kind of nice?
So I'm here with...
We're going for this. 350, where's 981? Float.
And I'm Tommy G, allegedly.
Who out of this group is the high-speed specialist?
This nigga right here is like nasty on the track. This nigga right here is just nasty on the road. He can slide, drift, go fast.
What's the fastest you guys have ever gone in a car before? 170?
170, sheesh.
That's life or death speed. What makes it worth it for you to put yourself in that position where you can
These
go to the
niggas be
afterlife
pushing
if
it
you're
for
not
no reason. What? Hear what this nigga said? If I die, I die. Boy, you're a fucking nut. Fuck all that. I love my life.
I never like hopped in a car and went that fast off rip. It's kind of like I got used to it, slowly, you know, building up like a tolerance to speed. If you're watching this and you're a driver, then you know what I mean when you feel the rear wheels through the seat of the car.
You're super in tune and in touch. It's almost like the car is an extension of your body.
You have senses from the seat, the steering wheel, the audio cues, how loud the engine is, if your tires are squealing. You have so many cues in it, and it's really up to you to take all that sensory input.
Oh yeah, they hip for real to what's going on.
So it's like, we're not trying to do this shit forever. Like, we genuinely want to hop on the track, just go crazy. It's just a track right now. It's expensive and people are shutting the tracks down.
Do you guys know anyone that has crashed or died or gotten injured doing this?
Crashed for sure, but nobody that's really crashed. No one ever crashed today. If anybody were to seriously get hurt or crash or anything like that, I think it'll end it for everybody. I think we don't stop.
There's a risk of hurting someone that's completely innocent. One could be on
I
the way
mean,
to
for the
work,
most
someone
part,
could be-
it looks like they know what they're doing, but for how long? You know what I mean? Like they saying, you never know when you're gonna hit somebody. Like everything is smooth right now. Y'all only got crashes, but how soon is it gonna be before you guys catch a body? You feel me?
Pick up their kid from soccer practice.
Or multiple
like,
bodies.
How does that factor in your driving and what you think about when you drive?
I don't ever force nothing. If I get left, I get stuck.
What does that mean when you get left?
If I'm following 91 or I'm following flow and they think a cut I can't take, I'm not taking it. We swim for each other. We drive for each other. We don't drive for ourselves. I know exactly how each one of them drives and how I drive. So God forbid someone has to hard brake, the cars behind are already braking and looking for openings so we're not rear-ending each other.
Have you guys had any near misses?
Of course. But there was this one time where he took a cut. Right after he took the cut, it was either I fit the cut or I'm gone. It's funny saying this, but we're not criminals. We have real-life jobs. We have insurance on our cars.
Hey, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny like, that should be pissing me off, bro, because I did work hard as for this shit, bro.
Do you guys' moms know about this?
She knows, and she tells me every day to stop. And I tell her, look, I'm trying. We have a brand swim team, right? We're not trying to cut up reckless 24/7, bro. Like, we got a 5M service coming up, a Settle Corsa service coming up, and honestly, like...
See, I like how they think on both ends. I like how they thinking about turning each one to a brand. Because, like I said, this shit can't last forever. So you need to run it up as much as possible. And then brand that shit. You know what I mean? Make money off of that.
Community, we see the love people you guys are giving us, and we're not gonna take this and just, throw it all away. It's like one of those stories we're trying to create where the bad guy kind of wins.
What do you say to the people that are like super pissed when they see what you do? They're like, that's reckless, it's selfish, it's dangerous, people could die. What do you say to those type of folks?
Honestly, bro, you're right. I agree with them, bro. I don't even argue with them. I don't argue with them, bro. I don't argue with them either. When people look at accidents and they see like us cutting up and like racing through traffic, doing a whole bunch of dumb stuff, they see it as not precise. Like they're thinking like we're just out there and we're trying to crash. We're not trying to crash. If anything, I would argue that when we're on the road, we're actually paying attention to the road more than anyone else on the road. Or another thing is drinking and driving. And like, we don't ever be under the influence ever behind the wheel. And I'm proud to say that.
Tell me what's going through your head in the police chase. How do you get away? What are you thinking about? Are you trying to go a few streets and take an exit? Do you got a hideout? Like, how do you evade police in this type of situation?
Hold on, don't give out too much sauce. You gotta bring your home, man.
There's people that might watch what you do and wonder how the police have not caught you yet. What is your answer?
I mean, truly, the way that we don't get caught.
And it's crazy how they haven't even been caught yet.
I can say this because I've been, like, at least in swim, at least, I got into the most count chases, right? And I'm not saying it because I like that. I got the worst luck, bro. I would say, honestly. Got the worst luck of it.
I wanted to know what the legal perspective was on what swim team, squeeze bends, and all these other New York drivers were doing. What were the legal ramifications? How much jail time could they face? And why is it that they were so brazen about continually doing this? I talked to my guy Nate the lawyer to figure out more about this. He's a lawyer that runs a YouTube channel and breaks things down regularly. This is what he had to say.
My name is Nate the Lawyer. I'm a former prosecutor and a former law school professor. And what you've just seen on screen is known as reckless driving. In the state of New York, you could serve up to a year in prison if you recklessly drive.
Just a year,
Reckless
bro?
driving
I
in New
thought
York
it would be
is
longer than
driving
that.
in a manner that, quote, unreasonably interferes with the free and proper use of the public highways or unreasonably endangers users of the public highway. Reckless driving is prohibited. Every person violating this provision shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, meaning you can serve up to a year in jail. If someone is injured or killed during the act of reckless driving, you could find yourself facing some serious charges.
Dangerous and disturbing exclusive video of young people driving their cars recklessly just before one of the cars crashed and killed two.
Now, this driver was charged with manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. He's facing up to 10 years in prison. If you
That's
are doing
tough,
something
man.
that you know is inherently dangerous and
He lucky he don't get longer than that because you took a life. Righteously.
get someone killed or hurt, and then you do it anyway.
Let me see. Hold on. I might have heard that wrong, but did he not take a life, or he just crashed?
Disturbing exclusive video of young people driving their cars recklessly just before one of the cars crashed and killed 2 people.
Now this driver
Yeah, he
was
lucky he
charged
got
with
10
manslaughter
because that
and
shit
cruelly
should be
negligent
longer.
homicide. He's facing up to 10 years in prison. If you are doing something that you know is inherently dangerous and could get someone killed or hurt, and then you do it anyway, that the law finds to be reckless and criminal in some cases. Driving a car 90 miles an hour in a 50-mile-an-hour zone is reckless. Someone could get hurt, someone could get killed, and if someone does, then you are on the hook for that homicide. There may be no fear of repercussions because of New York's bail reform laws. The misdemeanor of reckless driving, as you see on the screen, isn't eligible for bail. If someone commits this crime 10 times
you're done.
in
You're
the
gonna
same
sit
day,
that shit
they'll
out.
get bail every time because of New York's bail reform laws. Now, some of you may not believe how insane New York's bail reform laws are, but they are insane. Like this guy who was arrested 101 times for shoplifting and let go every time because of New York's bail reform laws. Or this guy who was arrested for 3 assaults in one day, even threw a brick through a store window. He was released every single time
That's
on
wild.
bail reform. Or the story of these 4 people who chopped up 2 bodies, left body parts all around the state of New York, and then when the cops went to their home, they found blood, body parts, guts, everything in their home.
That's
Guess what the judge
crazy.
did? He released them without bail. When you put everything together, I think these guys are doing it because they don't really have any
Like
fear.
if you're doing a crime like that, you don't release somebody without bail, bro. They definitely gonna dip out somewhere.
They're going to kill anybody, and if they get caught reckless driving, they'll get arrested and charged, but they'll probably be let out the same day on bail reform. Then we can go out and do it again. If you need legal advice, if you're looking to this YouTube video to help you in your case, you're looking at the wrong place. With that being said, I'm Nate the Lawyer, and I'm out. Peace.
After hearing what Nate the Lawyer said, hearing that there's no consequences really for what these guys are doing, it makes sense why they're doing it. Back to the swim team.
Exactly, bro. They don't really see any consequence in it. So why get too scared about it?
And the reason I started running is not because I don't like cops. It's simply because it got to a point where I can't afford the tickets anymore. Because I was getting singled out for no reason. The speed limit is 50, right? So I would be on the Bell Parkway and I'm going 70, 75. I'm doing the same speed everyone else is going at. However, when the state trooper sees everyone else and me, they single me out because I'm in a white Porsche. So then they think I can afford the ticket, but in the beginning I could, but then that shit started stacking up.
I feel that shit.
Just don't speed. I wasn't speeding. I was just keeping up with the flow of traffic, right? And then I just started running one day because I just couldn't afford the tickets anymore. And then it just started from there. I was super nervous at first. You gotta count lawyer fees too. After the first time, I only got nervous one more time after that. And that was only because I got chased by the hotel.
How many people were after you? 15 cars? Do you guys had to get away from helicopters before?
I never had to. Thanks God, honestly, but I feel like I don't do that situation. Oh yeah, I know what to do.
Has the news reached out to any of you guys?
Oh yeah, of course. Bro, I ain't going front. This is crazy. I'm like 87 News at all. Because they reached out to me about my content and they still posted after I said no. And I don't like that.
Oh, that's crazy.
So news reporters have reached out to you guys. They DM you, they email you. Okay,
No.
so Ali Bauman from CBS.
Not
New
on
York.
famous birthdays.
Yeah, she did me twice. I was like, no, to me. I just never responded.
What made you say no to her and yes to me?
Honestly, bro, you're not a cop. Yeah, you're not a cop.
Max, I feel that, bro. I feel like the news reporter shit it's copish in a way. You feel me? Like this is a different manner right here.
I genuinely feel like you're not gonna try to paint a bad picture with it.
Exactly.
You see the work you do and the type of honestly, you've interviewed people that do worse stuff than us. Yeah, so it's like, come on now. If you were keeping them safe, there's no reason why you wouldn't keep us safe, bro.
To me, it feels really fun to have no journalistic background to be beating them at their own game.
Yeah, definitely. Bro, honestly, bro, when you're an authentic person, you go far, man.
I feel like people in our generation just don't trust the news. They've lied so many times that
Facts in the news is still lying. That's why I don't watch the news. Like I might get bits and pieces here and there, but I'm not gonna be head deep into the news channels.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Honestly, bro, I've been getting more accurate shit from TikTok.
Pull over, take the tracker out the
TikTok
whip.
is the new news.
Sport him on the jacket doing tricks. Keep swimming, got the paddles in the ship.
Let's meet the swim team and let's hear their specialties.
Float, swim team. You already know.
And what's your specialty?
Swimmers.
Floating. All I do is float. That's my name. That's what I do. It's everything.
Do you feel like you have to look over your shoulder doing this kind of stuff?
I always look over my shoulder. I'm always not anyone. I would say I'm kind of camera shy, but like my specialty is like I do a little bit of everything. But when it comes to like the the corporate side of things, the brand and stuff, like I'm basically like the brains behind that whole.
Wait, so you're trying to turn this into a video game?
I mean, we already kind of did. It's a game, so it's called.
Hey, that's cold.
So basically, we host servers, and you just gotta take the link, hop on the server, and if any one of us happens to play on the server, you get to drive with Swim risk-free.
Whereas 981 and his team are well aware that a lot of his fans are young males that might try and replicate what they do, and knowing that that is incredibly dangerous, his team has done something so you can join them in the safety of your home. They built this online Assetto Corsa server so you can
That's
drive,
smart,
swerve,
bro.
drift, whatever you want. All you need is a computer, internet connection.
Mastermind shit right there, bro. I like niggas that think money. And this right here, this is money right here, bro.
And it's recommended you have a steering wheel. Details to join the server are in my description.
Do you think you're wanted?
And it's safe for the people that want to actually do this stuff on the
Me
roads.
specifically, I have no clue. If I am wanted, I'm sorry. I don't hate NYPD, I just don't want the ticket.
What do you go by?
Brick 250 or Brick 50, either one is fine.
And what's your specialty?
Well, right now, I think the fans would probably say my specialty is probably police chases, cop chases, and stuff like that. But in my opinion, I think drifting though.
How many police chases do you think you've been in?
Honestly, bro, I lost count probably because I posted at least 30, I think. So I think I have.
You have at least 30 police chases on
My
the
boy
internet
got
right
30
now.
plus.
Why is this worth potentially going to prison?
No matter how you look at it, it's not worth it at all. Me being how I am as a person, bro, it's fun, bro.
Who are you?
So I'm Reaper.
What's your specialty?
I'm more of a low-key swimmer. I'm not really making videos and stuff, but if you know, you know.
Do you have any little brothers?
Oh yeah.
If they wanted to get into this, what would you tell them?
I'm a hypocrite, but I wouldn't recommend it. But
You don't recommend it.
I
This
feel
is a
him.
question for the whole group. How often do you guys have to change vehicles?
I say if you do it right, you could probably go a year to 2 years where you have to swap the car.
Jeez, that ain't bad.
But you could do some dumb shit in one night that makes you have to swap.
What do you go by?
My name's Billy.
And what's your specialty?
Honestly, the fans kind of know me as
Bro, what is up with bro and his hat, man? What the fuck?
Lester, I guess I would say. That's if you get in trouble, you can call me. I'll help you with your situation.
So what makes this worth doing?
It's not worth doing. I wouldn't recommend doing it if I were you, but I can't make your decision for you. So if you are going to do this against our best wishes, I guess, just think about other people on the road and do whatever you can to bring it home without hurting yourself, hurting anybody else, or damaging any property.
Tell me how you think about taking on risks and danger.
I think if you're ever going to take on any risks or any danger, whether it's physical risks or financial risks, I think you should write down every single one of the variables that could be a factor in the risk that you're taking, and you should figure out what's the worst case scenario that could go wrong, any other kind of scenarios that could go wrong, and you want to figure out what the best case scenario is, and if that's worth the gamble for you, for the risks that are laid out on the table. But if those risks are worth the reward that you're going for, I think you should go for it. And if at any time you get too scared, the risks are too much for the reward, you don't want to risk it for the biscuit, then stop, because you're not built for it.
If you want an extraordinary life, you have to take extraordinary measures and risks in action, but know your lane and know when to sit out. And this is something I'm sitting out for.
Also, the story of Icarus, when you have black wings and you fly too close to the sun, never feel like you got it on lock 24/7.
The story of Icarus comes from Greek mythology, and it recounts the tale of Daedalus and his son Icarus.
They came up
who
with
were
the story
imprisoned on
Icarus,
island
bro.
Crete
That's
by King
crazy.
Minos. To escape, Daedalus fashioned wings made of feathers and wax for him and Icarus. Warned by his father not to fly too close to the sun, Icarus disregarded this advice. As he soared higher and higher, the wax melted, causing his wings to fail, and he plummeted into the sea and drowned. This story serves as a cautionary tale warning against the dangers of overconfidence and recklessness. And this story, I think, is very relevant to Mr. Squeeze Benz.
My son Stolen couldn't make it, but he wanted to say what's up to y'all, feel me?
Anything you gotta say for the camera, brother?
Shout out my son Jolly too, he couldn't make it. Yeah, so you asked us these questions. What do you think of swimming?
So here's the thing, I think danger is good in somebody's life, but when you endanger someone else while you're having your own fun, that's where I'm iffy about it.
Yeah.
I admire the courage, I admire the bravery, but when other people's lives are at risk, to me it's like it's a hard battle, you know what I mean? Like, if I lost
It
a
is,
friend
man. It's risky
because
as
someone
hit.
was just having fun on the road, I'd want to kill that guy. I also, as a young man who does dangerous things too, get it. But I highly advise you, don't try it out.
We met these guys here to do B-roll of their cool cars. But while waiting their turn, a couple of them decided to do donuts in a parking lot where there were many families. Because of this, the police were called, and in a few minutes, an NYPD helicopter arrived on the
Are
scene.
you serious, bro? We just in a parking lot. We not even racing, bro. And a helicopter comes out because we doing donuts in a parking lot. Man, get the fuck out of here.
This is what happened next.
Well, we got a dip in a second. You seen that, right?
Hello, folks. I'm Tommy G. Here at the Most Wanted.
It ain't even that deep.
Folks, I wasn't lying when I said these guys are wanted.
Look, it's time to go. They gotta get out of there.
It's time to get out of here. Stay safe. Realize that the choices you make can impact other people. There's dangerous things you can do that just impact yourself. When it impacts scared civilians, we should probably get out of here. Let's go. I'm conflicted with this video, folks, because a lot of young people are gonna think this is cool, and their brain is not developed enough to realize the risk to other people. And I feel like you gotta pick and choose your battles. And like, while it is exciting, statistically, eventually, someone is gonna crash, someone's gonna die, someone's gonna get paralyzed, and the game that sounded so fun is not so fun anymore.
All right, y'all, man. Y'all be cool. Thank you guys for watching, and y'all drive safe.